Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Red Planet. An entire Mars world has been built by the community piece by piece. And in this video, I'm going to be showcasing all kinds of crazy tiles that you guys have created. But keep in mind, everything that you're going to see today is not the final product. This is just a mega showcase of what you guys have created. Nothing is placed in any particular area for any particular reason, and it is all going to change. And the reason being is that you guys made way too much to ever fit on Mars here. You've made like 4 Mars worth of tiles. So I thought it would be nice to take an episode or two just to explore all of these tiles just as individual objects. But let me go up into the sky here and explain what's gonna happen before we actually go and explore some of these tiles. Because if you look around, this world looks pretty cluttered. There's a lot going on, like a whole lot is going on here. And that is because a lot of people wanted to create very interesting tiles, and you have created very interesting tiles. But the problem is when every single tile is interesting, it kind of makes all of them less interesting because there's nothing uninteresting bridging the gap in between them. So what I'm going to end up doing is choosing some of my core favorites from this assortment and then putting those as like the main points of interest on the Mars surface. And then I'm going to be filling a lot of space in between with just more generic Marsy stuff. And I think that's going to help with some of the immersion, because if we look across the world here, it kind of just looks like individual points of interest just kind of on a grid. It looks very grid-like. It doesn't look very natural. And I want it to be a little bit more immersive than what we're seeing right here. So there's way more here for me to explore in one episode, so this is probably going to be a multi-parter, probably today and tomorrow, so that's what you can look forward to. But I will be looking at your feedback in the comments. If there's anything that you guys think absolutely has to stay, I will take that into consideration. Otherwise, I have an idea of what I want to keep, so I will be going based off of that, but I am subject to be swayed by the comments. So let's start exploring some stuff. So unfortunately, I have no easy way of connecting these tiles visually to the original creator. Like, there's no labels in the tile maker to who created it or anything like that. And I obviously can't see it. I'm not putting these tiles on a lift in the world. So unfortunately, I can't actually name who created these. But if you put the work into these, you probably know who you are. But this is an interesting one, isn't it? I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I like how unique it is. It could stand out very much in like a far away part from the human base, just something to go find and explore, and then see, hey, there's water on Mars. It's like a broken ice sheet with water in it. And we dive down and it's got all kinds of plant life and everything, because you know, where there's water, it's a good recipe for life. So we've got different like resources, like we got rocks down here. That could give us an excuse to build some underwater mining vehicles, mining research vessels, underwater vessels. We've got oil things down here, flowers, fun stuff to come and explore. And it gives a new type of creation to try to build, like having water-based creations. Like there can be mini research sub and a vehicle to transport the research sub over here across the Mars terrain. Like, I kind of like that it just adds that extra possibility for creative direction when it comes to the actual creations that people are going to be submitting. So yeah, for those of you in the Discord that are interested in actually building creations and stuff for the world, these tile episodes might give some inspiration on what you could build. So this is a really nice tile as well. This just feels like a very natural Mars texture tile. Like, this is a good one, and it has this awesome rock formation. Look at this. With this little, I don't know, arch, kind of makeshift arch from the rocks there. We had a lot of crater submissions, big craters like this. This one's really interesting. I don't know how I feel about the kind of random oil stuff in this one. And I do like, even though these oil smokestack things were kind of meant for underwater, they do kind of make sense for a surface like this as well. Just, you know, heat and smoke leaking from the surface of Mars that kind of has an interesting effect. Now, part of me actually doesn't want to show some tiles because I almost want them to be a surprise in the actual Mars world, because I'm going to say right now, I'm just going to show the outside of this tile right here. I think this is my favorite tile, and I'm not going to show any more than this, but you can see there's some weird stuff, some really weird stuff happening over there, and it gets weirder when we go explore it, but I think I want to save that for the actual later parts of the Mars mission. I think I want to actually keep some things a secret to find out later. So I'm not gonna show that tile. I'm just confident that that tile is good enough that I don't need your feedback on it. Like, you're all gonna agree with me. So this is also an interesting one too. This is a really crazy rock formation. It kind of reminds me of the mountains tile, like in the generic scrap mechanic, but I think it's different. I thought they just like reused the asset and changed the colors and stuff, but no, I'm pretty sure this is different. And there's a lot to be discovered in here as well. There's down below us, there's that meteor, black meteor that has crash landed right in the middle here, which is convenient aim for that meteor. But then you've also got some stuff on the outside over here. You can see that this leads into a cave. And this is a pretty big cave. It leads way down here. It splits off over there, which I think that goes into that main area where the meteor crashed. Also goes back over here where there's some minerals and some water, some hidden water, more water on Mars. And actually, does this go down a lot? I didn't really explore down here, but it looks like it goes down it's a decent pool. It's a decent pool of water. So yeah, this definitely makes me think of a place that, you know, a rover could come and find the resources, and then we could bring back that information and come out here with some resource gathering vehicles, even though these aren't like resources we could really gather. However, I could also, at any point, I could just say like place stone, and we could do mock missions to come out and harvest stone and stuff like that. Because we can just place harvestables in a world. We don't have to actually build it into the tiles or anything. And I left my flyer up there, but I'm just gonna go ahead and spawn in a new one. By the way, I don't know what the deal is, but my thrusters are glitching out a little bit. The exhaust does not look right, and it's supposed to be coming out of all of them. And especially like in the back here, like all these thrusters in the back are active right now, and it's just not showing particles. So I don't know if that's because of all the custom tiles, if that's having an effect, or if something else is going on there. All right, we got another interesting tile here. So this is like a big cave that's just open in the side of a mountain. And this one, I have some opinions on. Maybe you guys can give some feedback as well. I like the concept because obviously this is supposed to be like a nest with an egg in it. However, what's throwing me off from the immersion is that the nest is actually made of branches. Like, where did these branches come from? I don't really imagine the surface of Mars having plant life. So far, the only plant life we've seen was underwater because that's where the water is. But these are like straight up trees. So it's one of those things of like, I like the concept of having a cave where there's like this mysterious egg, but I just feel weird about the branches. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. All right, over here, we've got this like massive crater or quarry or something. And it looks like down at the bottom, there's a little hidden something here, tiny little crevice. We got some harvestables in here and some mysterious, just what is this stuff doing here? There's an antenna sticking up above the ground, kind of signaling that something's under here, but it's kind of like this big pre-established area with some harvestable materials, some silos, and it looks like harvesting has already begun here. I did get a lot of tiles of this nature where there's a cave, and then inside the cave is just like industry. Industry has flourished. Now, on its own, that's an awesome idea, and it's really well done. My only concern is that it might be a little bit too overboard with the Mars immersion. I was kind of imagining more of a subtle, mysterious take of stuff to find in caves rather than just an outright industrial silo complex. Here we got a couple more craters. We got a darker crater here. We got this one that has just the asteroid impact right in the middle of it. Now, this is cool. There's two extra large tiles that I'm considering. One is this one, which is based on Olympus Mons, which is apparently this massive, massive mountain volcano that is bigger than like anything on Earth, but on Mars. And that to me justifies having an extra large tile for. And this extra large tile is actually done really well. I'm a big fan of it. And by the looks of it, with these rocks here, I think those must be caves. This is actually one of the newest tiles submitted that I haven't really explored yet, but is this a cave right here? Huh. That's where I expected this to be some type of cave. I wonder if it is, but I haven't found the entrance yet. There are some cave entrances over here. Yeah, you can see we got a couple of entrances right over here. So I'll go in a little bit so we can see. And I like this one. I've already explored this one. And I like this because there's not a lot in here. And when there's not a lot in here, that means that creations can kind of improvise and fill this space. There's a dead end right over here. So we could, rather than having something pre-built that we don't have a choice over, this gives us the opportunity to allow for creations and blueprints to be spawned in here, and we can figure it out what we want to do with it. Oh yeah, check this out. Look at this. It's really subtle. Right at this dead end, there's a little tiny, almost hidden hole to come through there. And for some reason, couch. We have couch. Couch with flower. I don't know why. It's a nice looking couch too. I don't know why the creator thought to build a couch in here, but there's a couch in there. The Martians just be chilling. Yeah, so this tile, really awesome. It is based on a real part of Mars that has to be massive pretty much. I mean, it's not nearly as massive as the actual Olympus Mons. Like, we would be an unregisterable speck walking across the actual Olympus Mons, but of course we don't have that kind of scale in scrap mechanics, so extra large tile is what's gonna have to do it. Now, this isn't the only, there was a lot of Olympus Mons tile. Now, in my opinion, this one fits Mars the best as far as the aesthetics goes. Like, even look at this. This is part of the Olympus Mons tile as well. Like, these arch curves of rocks are so well done. I love this aspect over here. Now, there is another Olympus Mons tile that I want to show you guys because it had something really unique about it, but it's kind of small. This is it right here, and the color of it doesn't match quite as well as that one over there. Like, that one I think fits really well with the surface, but this one just had a really unique element to it that I wanted to show you guys just because of just how different it was. So now, if I actually come down into the crater of Olympus Mons here, look at this. This is harvestable rock, and this is actually covering up an entrance. And I thought that idea was just a really unique, I haven't seen it done before. In order to get into this tile, you actually have to break through rock. So the way I did it was just with explosives to make it easy. It does get really laggy though, or at least it did last time. Yeah, the frames are definitely dropping here. So I can go ahead and fall down. And yeah, there's, oh wait, I didn't notice this. Oh, this got destroyed last time. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that this was covered because when I tested this out, this all got destroyed for me. So I never actually saw this. That's awesome. I didn't even know you could do this. There's a lot of stuff that I saw in the tiles that I didn't know you could even do in the tile editor. So then this goes in and it's kind of like an already pre-existing underground bunker. It's like a farming bunker that has a bunch of planters with different types of foods, vegetables, flowers, plants, things like that. So I thought this was a really unique idea. I don't know how to explain this. This seems more like not really alien. This seems like humans were already here and they built this. I mean, there's a sign with English on it. Unless the aliens have stolen this stuff somehow. It's kind of, I don't really know how to explain it. So although I don't think I'm going to be including this tile in the final version of our Mars project, I think it deserved an awesome shout out because that concept was brilliant. But I think as far as immersion goes, this Olympus Mons over here is going to blend much better with the terrain. Speaking of terrain, right below me is an actual, what looks like a man-made quarry, which I think could be cool to have tiles like this that we can have, you know, research vessels and stuff branch off to and try to harvest. There's actually a bunch of harvestables down there. However, this pathway is so small. The pathway down, so building a mining vehicle, well, I mean, it'll be sketchy. Building a mining vehicle that can traverse this without falling down and be able to effectively harvest and bring stuff back up from down there, that might be kind of difficult. But man, do you have any idea how long this must have taken? These are all individual rock assets. Do you realize that? These are individual rock assets used as like shingling stone. I'm sure there's a geology term for rocks like this, but that's a lot of asset placement. Let me know how you guys feel about this one. I think there's another quarry as well. Yeah, here it is. So here's the other quarry I was talking about. This one's not nearly as deep but it also seems much more accessible. And it does have this kind of pre-built technology here as well, which actually, it looks really well done. I kind of like that. So we could have something like this that is part of the human faction where they've already established and built some things up for harvesting or mining purposes. This one has a much more wide and accessible road, a lot more gentle. Wait, I didn't actually see this before. What is this doing? Hold on. Okay. I wasn't expecting this. I don't know how I feel about the plants being here. Although I guess this one kind of could make sense because it's near like this thermal vent. So that thermal vent could maybe have elements that this type of plant life needs to thrive, which could explain why it's only on this thermal vent. So I could explain that one. I could explain that one away pretty easily. Oh, is this? I didn't even notice this. I think this is part of this tile as well. What is this? Is this like an overview platform? People can this is where your supervisor sits and judges you as you try to mine resources nobody's ever seen in their lifetime. All right, we got a really cool skeleton looking thing over here. That would be definitely something scary to find on the Mars surface as you're exploring around. We got a massive oil vent area, a bunch of craters with a bunch of oil vents sticking out. Some interesting coloration going on inside there. This one was kind of cool. I thought this would just be like a neat anomaly that's not super obvious from far away, but then when you approach it, it's just got it's got a spiral, you know? We have hidden water underneath me over here. We got these ones, which could kind of be a good, some good alien hints where there's floating rocks. So there's like a gravity anomaly somewhere, which would be closer to the alien areas. Speaking of alien areas, oh, I love this. Not speaking of alien areas yet, but this is it's such a small tile and it's really subtle. It doesn't really stand out from a distance or anything, but when you get on it, it's just so interesting. This is a prime example of how to just look natural, but still be interesting. Like, they understood the assignment here. And that's a really thought out, artistically done tile there. This one's also kind of similar in that nature. Just some rocks, nothing major. There is a mysterious pipe hidden in here though that I just noticed. Look at this thing. How do you explain this? What's going on under here, huh? See, I like that though. Subtle. It's subtle. Things to make you question and wonder why. And then the creations that we build can start answering those questions. And then we got this thing over here. This is terrifying. And it is a small tile, so I think it'd be really easy to hide somewhere. So I actually do like this one. Just something like that's not going to be easy to find. And when you stumble across it, it's like, whoa. And I don't even want to go down there because I don't know if I'll ever be able to get back out again. This one's interesting. There's some stuff I didn't know about this dust particle. Like, I had no idea this was a thing. In the tile builder, I didn't know you could do this. And then you've got like these textures and stuff and there's glowy stuff. Like, I didn't expect to see stuff like this. I like that a lot. There's just, you know, exposed volcanic activity on the surface, which I imagine that it would blacken the surface a little bit. But even despite that, they still followed the assignment. The edges of the tile go back to normal, so it blends perfectly with everything else around it. So there's still a lot more to go over. For instance, these domes, there's 2 domes, and I'm having trouble choosing between one or the other, so I'm gonna want your feedback, but I'm gonna go over that in the next episode. And there's another extra large tile. There's 2 extra large tiles that I'm considering, and this is another one of them. But you're gonna have to wait for tomorrow's episode to see that one as well, because that one's gonna be in depth and it's gonna take some exploration too. And we'll go over some of this other stuff that you see below me as well in that episode. I think we've covered a decent amount here. So based off of what you've seen so far, let me know if you have any feedback on stuff that you think should or shouldn't be included for whatever reason. And if you're one of the creators of these tiles, thank you so much for participating. I think I included like 75 to 100 tiles in this showcase world right here, but I got, I think, close to 300 submissions, so there was no way I could possibly include everything, but I picked some of my favorites, put them all in here. So if you're one of the tile creators, whether or not your creation gets shown here or whether or not it gets included in the final product, Thank you guys so much. It was awesome to see all this stuff, and we'll be seeing more of it tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. If you didn't get the hint, I'm not really looking for much more for tile submissions when it comes to these crazy points of interest or anything. I just need help choosing from these points of interest. And the rest is going to be kind of those cool, creative, just atmospheric tiles, which I think still have a lot of potential for some really cool stuff, as you saw with that lake bed one. So if you enjoyed this, you'll probably enjoy some more content on the channel. You can go ahead and check out some previous community builds right here. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.